Hello, welcome to yet another video of Acharya Nidana Academy. In this video, we are going to discuss the relation between the exercise and the Vata Dosha. Text says, whenever if a person does certain amount of the exercise or vyayama, there will be the increase of Vata Dosha in the body. Right? If the person is doing the exercise in excessive amount, then also that is leading to the increase of Vata Dosha in the body. But what is the difference between the two? When you think of that, so in the initially, so of course we can able to look into these differences. We are going to learn in this particular video regarding those. So before that, we need to know about certain concepts that we need to remember as we are discussing in the previous sessions. As such, if PCB and fundamentals of Ayurveda are well known, then any of the information explained in Ayurveda can be learned with the deepest understanding. Second, we have to practice the concept of minimalism. Minimalism, one small topic, we have to learn from the multiple angles. So that is nothing but a brainstorming the session. And third major point, so if you learn the concept of Kriya Sharira well, then it is very easy for you to learn the concepts of Roga Nidana with much ease. And if you are knowing the concepts of Roga Nidana, then we can able to learn the concepts of Kaya Chikitsa very well. And fourth thing, no major compromise is there in the learning the Ayurveda fundamentals. These are these particular four concepts. We are going to further look into this particular exercise and its effect on the human body. So exercise or vyayama, actually it is nothing but the certain type of the routine physical movements which is responsible for the depletion of major and minor nutrients. Major nutrients in the sense the person may have the decrease in the carbohydrate, then there will be the depletion of fat will be there, and later there will be the depletion of protein content will be there, and micronutrients. So that is the majorly that is the regarding different electrolytes, sodium, potassium, calcium, chloride, etc. Plus there will be the loss of a fluid, that is water portion from the body in the form of sweat or in the form of through the breath, etc. So whenever there is the decrease in the nutrients, naturally that will be responsible for the dhatukshaya as far as the Ayurveda fundamentals are concerned. Whenever there is dhatukshaya, naturally there will be Vata dosha is going to get increased. Regarding the guidance physiology, says two major points. So that is one, there will be sequential depletion of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins that will be observed. One. Second, there is the marathon race. If you look into that, that is what is 42.2 kilometers of running race. In that particular situation, if a person does that particular participates in that particular marathon, the metabolism of the body may increase up to 2000% above the normal metabolism at rest. So that means, see the amount of the nutrient, what do you say, that the depletion, so that will be very rapid. And whenever if a person does the exercise, normally what actually happens is there will be the reduced blood supply to the alimentary canal, so that particular blood will be channelized into the skeletal muscle, and from that particular skeletal muscle, in the sense, naturally the blood supply to these skeletal muscles which are supplying, for example, which part of the body, suppose if a person is doing more amount of the walking, this particular blood will be channelized into the skeletal muscles of the lower limb. Like that, depending upon the part of the body involved in the exercise, that will be responsible for the channelization of the blood there. So when you think of its effect of the vyayama, so if the person is having the doing the exercise immediately, for example, after a period of half an hour or 1 hour, so there will be the increase in the chala guna in the body, which can be identified by increased pulse rate, increased respiratory rate, increased heart rate, and the person will be having the air hunger, etc. So these are the, and the person may have the sweating in the forehead, etc. So these are the different indications where there will be increased chalaguna we are going to expect there. So, and in case of chronic effects, so that means if a person is doing the exercise continuously, so these are the different gunas are going to get increased in the body. That is Lagu guna, Shita guna, Khara guna, Sukshma guna, and Ruksha guna. In case of acute effect, there will be the increase in the Chalaguna, whereas in case of chronic effect, which may be responsible for the increase in the other gunas of the body. So that means if the person is having the acute, the effects will be increase in the different movements that will be happening, but in this will be in the long run is responsible for the increase of these different qualities. Right? Then, how to substantiate it regarding the Vata Dosha increase as such? So, whenever there is a person is doing the exercise, immediately we are going to identify the person will be having air hunger, the person will be having the, to say that the heart rate increase, the person will be having the respiratory rate is going to get increased, the person will be having the breathing through the open mouth. When you touch the person's radial pulse, we are going to observe the increased pulse rate, etc., which indicates there is an increase of the chala guna in the body at a particular time period when the person is doing the exercise. If the person is continuously doing this particular exercise, there will be the decrease of carbohydrate in a matter of within 30 minutes. After a matter of 30 minutes later, there will be no the glucose is being present. Then in such occasion that nutrient loss may happen from the fat. This particular fat is accumulated in the different parts of the body, for example, subcutaneous tissues, cheeks, breast, and buttocks, etc. In these areas, there will be channelization of these fat that will be taking place. So, which in turn results in the, what do you say, that the increase in the lipids in the blood, and afterwards the person may have the protein depletion. When the person is having increased in metabolism in the body, naturally, so that will be responsible for this, what do you say, that the sequential decrease of carbohydrate, fats, and proteins. Proteins will be depleted at last. For example, if the person is suffering from diabetes mellitus, chronic diabetes mellitus, there will be protein depletion we can able to see. And because of this mobilization of stored nutrients, that is why we have mentioned subcutaneous tissue, cheeks, buttocks, and breasts, etc. In that particular region, the person will be having the leanness of the body parts. Thus, there will be the lightness of the body is going to get increased. So, the overall mechanism, the take-home message will be, whenever if a person is doing the some amount of the exercise, that will be responsible for the increase of Vata Dosha. Initially, there will be the increase of Chalaguna, that will be followed by increase of the other gunas of Vata Dosha. So, this will be identified by the initially there will be the increase of respiratory rate or heart rate or the air hunger, etc., which is indicative of the Chalaguna increase, whereas the sequential loss of carbohydrate, fat, and proteins, which will be indicative of the increase of other gunas of the Vata Dosha. So, what is the major takeaway from the today's session? And tell me what are the things that we wish to learn in the sequential, in the coming sessions, and share the particular video to the maximum number of Ayurveda learners. Right? Thank you. dear viewers, we are going to look into some new video in the coming session. Thank you.